Good morning, Michael. Good to see you. We heard this story break yesterday, and it sounded like a minor knock from the horse that she'd received, and we know that she's a tough cookie, Princess Anne. But actually, as the hours are ticking by, it's starting to feel a little more ominous. How about you?
Yeah, good morning, Bev. Good morning, Andrew. Princess Royal is 73, 74, August. Concussion is no minor matter. Get a blow on the skull, it shakes up the brain, causes a brain bleed, and that can lead on to all sorts of other nasty complications. So 2 nights in hospital. The Princess Royal doesn't take orders from many people, but she will take orders from her doctors, and obviously they're being cautious, and quite rightly so, keeping her under observation. But as you said, Beverly, and then we see her in happier times, although in fact that is in fact a funeral, I believe, where everybody's wearing black tie. But you know, she is a tough cookie. I think back to 1976, you mentioned the Montreal Olympics earlier. She had a very bad fall at the Montreal Olympics and concussion. Britain, I'm afraid, lost out to the USA in the 3-day eventing thing. But even before that, in April 1976, at the Portman Horse Trials, she fell and her horse rolled on top of her, broke a vertebrae, and she was concussed. That was quite serious, and it was doubtful whether she would make the Olympics. But of course, being the tough cookie that she is, she did make it. So she's been this route before, but that was 48 years ago, Olympics. These days, she's older. But she is, as Andrew just said, an accomplished equestrian, and we all saw when she left the gates in the procession for the King's procession, the Trooping of the Colour. She was on board a frisky Canadian horse called Noble, and it acted up, but she immediately and brilliantly brought it under control. But in this instance, as you've suggested, we don't know the full details, but it seems that she wasn't riding, and she approached the horses on her estate. Now, horses are very unpredictable animals at the best of times, and obviously something went wrong, and the horses either butted her or hit her, and she sustained a slight injury, but enough to have her admitted to the nearest trauma hospital where she is, and I'm sure undergoing care. Probably reluctantly, she would prefer to be back on her estate doing what she does best.